Sech the Menochos, Daf Kuf Amud Aleph. We're starting from the Mishnah. So handsome. okay, let's go. All right. Zag the Mishnah, Sidas Halachem. He placed the bread on the shulchan b'Shabbos. On Shabbos, that's the time to put it on. On Shabbos.
Where is the Mishnah?
You're on Kuf Amud Aleph. Oh, you're on Zvochen. Yeah, let's go to Kuf. One page back.
No, so it's better.
Okay. So he placed the lechem on Shabbos. That's the time to put it. Yeah, that's Shabbos. Shabbos. Yeah, the lechem upon him. And what was matter to eat the lechem upon him on Shabbos? The bezichen. The bezichen were the 2 spoons with the levina, with the frankincense, spices over there. La'achar Shabbos. But when did he place it after Shabbos? So that's a problem, because the time to put the bread has to be together with the bezichen. The bezichen is the part that's mated the lechem, and if the bezichen was not put in the right time, it was put a day later. It's called mechusei zman. It's missing.
The time.
It has to be from Shabbos to Shabbos, right. And here he put it in Sunday instead. The bread he put on Shabbos.
Oh, it's in mechutza.
Huh?
It's in mechutza, like mechutza.
Oh, okay. V'hikdes habezichen b'Shabbos. And then following Shabbos, he burns the bezichen. The bread doesn't become tahir. It doesn't become mutter. He says, if he was a mock to it, possible. Then the bread is possible because the bezichen is the part that has to be matir, and the bezichen was only for 6 days, and so therefore the being makted the bezichen wasn't matir the lechem, and once he couldn't be matir the lechem, it became kodesh. It becomes puzzle. So he says, no, it's not going to become, he's not going to be over on pigul. Pigul is that if you had the machshava to eat the bread after the allotted time, after the following, you put it on Shabbos, the following Shabbos you eat it, and you had in mind, no, I'm saving the challah for the bar mitzvah in a month from now.
A month.
Or the next Shabbos, or the next day also, but I'm saying, he's saving it for the bris or for blamalk of the next. He's making a blamalk in a month. He's saving the chal. He's going to freeze it. So that's no good. So
he said the same thing about.
That's called pigul, but he's not going to be high for pigul. Why?
If he wants to make the malkum Shabbos.
So Shabbos is fine. We'll talk about that soon.
So the term pigul could be used for lechem aponim for
pigul means that the thought, anything that has on a lot of time. And you had in mind that to eat it after the allotted time, that's called pigul. Mm-hmm. But pigul, you're only going to be chayiv if you obey to all the laws of lechem aponim, all the laws of carbon. Here he didn't. He started off crooked, right. Because the bezichen he didn't do right. So if the bezichen he didn't do right, so the lechem is not a lechem.
But the pigul did everything right. But the pigul, when you decide
the wrong mashava to get the.
In the right time.
No, that's the problem. Abel, if it was prepared, if the lechem with the bezichen was done right, and when he was mocked at the bezichen, he had in mind to eat the bread after the allotted time. That's pigul. But if he didn't put the bezichen on Shabbos, he did it later. So it's mechusei zman. So the din of pigul doesn't apply. And the same thing with noisa. There's no din of noisa of being left over because
pigul has to be everything there ready.
Everything has to be done right in order that the pigul should apply. Noisa v'tamid. These dinim don't apply. What's if he did everything right? He placed the lechem and the bezichen, the spoons b'Shabbos. But when did he Shabbos? He goes and he takes the bezichen. He didn't even wait for the next Shabbos. He went and he burned the frankincense the Sunday after the Shabbos. Psula, it's possible. Because the bezichen was not is mechusei zman. He has to burn it. The bezichen the next Shabbos, the following Shabbos. So and it was only one day that the bezichen was on the table. That's no good. So there's no pigul, no nice. It's nothing. He takes the chalas. He says before we said it's puzzle. It's only a psul, but it's puzzle. But it's not. There's no din of pigul nice and tuma. Here he did everything right. Here he also says.
What does he get? He gets punished for that.
Huh?
He gets punished for that.
No, it's puzzle. The bread is no good. It's the lechem is puzzle, But there's no Isa Pigul Neis V'Tamei. The third case is
Sidas Halacha.
Sidas Halechem V'Sabazichen Lacha Shabbos. He said he did both wrong. Side the Bazichen Nitzigot Nitzma. He did the Lechem and the Bazichen after Shabbos. The Hiktes Bazichen Shabbos, but the Bazichen was burnt on Shabbos. Psula, the bread is puzzle because the burning of the Bazichen was Mechus Hizman. It wasn't there from Shabbos to Shabbos. Kate said, Yasa, what should he do? In order that the Lechem and Lavena that he did by Yom Rishon should be kosher, Yani Chena, he should leave the Lechem with the Bazichen on the Shulchan. The Shabbos Abba, 2 Shabbosim after the Sunday. That means it should be 14 days instead of 8 days.
And the bread will still be soft.
It will still be soft, yeah. He put it on Sunday, leave the bread with the Bazichen this Shabbos and the following Shabbos, and then take it off. Because since the bread wasn't placed bismanei, so you can't say, oh, there was lina. Lina means lina is only after something becomes kodesh. There wasn't missing a lechem. Oh, you mean yeah?
He put on Sunday. You said
no. That lechem was not eaten that Shabbos. Yeah, it's a good shaila. I don't know. I didn't think about it. Very good. Whoa, I didn't think about it.
No.
Yeah. Because you're keeping it. You put it Sunday.
Had you put it on? You put it on Sunday. So I mean, there was empty.
You put it on Sunday. You were able to put it on. You pushed out to hold the bread.
The challahs that were there before you took it off, right?
You took off the challah Sunday.
And you ate them after a whole week.
No, you're not allowed to eat them.
Well, what do you think?
No,
he put on the challahs.
He took off the challah Shabbos to eat.
So therefore it was empty.
It was empty. The next day he put the challahs
with the
bezichin. And now he has to wait 2 Shabbosim.
Right.
So you're asking the first Shabbos, you can't take off that bread because he has to wait 2 Shabbosim. So what's with that first Shabbos that you can't eat the lechem upon him? I hear your question. That's
the first Shabbos when it comes.
Right.
He has to
wait till the next Shabbos. I don't know the answer. I don't have an answer. Okay, Zagdi Yamada, that's only if he placed it Sunday. But what if the challah was placed Sunday? You have a tikkun. This third case has a tikkun, has a way to correct itself because there's one Shabbos and then you leave the following Shabbos. But if you had the challah on Shabbos and then the bezichen you did Sunday, right? So then there's no way of correcting the challah, leaving it for 2 more Shabbosim. Because it became kodesh.
After a week,
after a week, you have to take it off because it's already kodesh from the previous Shabbos. Okay. Here, the reason why it can correct itself. No, it's kodesh. So the whole reason over here we have a problem. Over here, it can correct itself because it never became holy. He never put it on a Shabbos.
Put it on Sunday.
So we don't count all these days as anything till the first Shabbos. And the first Shabbos, it's allowed to be on. It becomes kodesh the following
Shabbos.
Shabbos
Is only 6 days.
Right. So it didn't become kodesh till the following Shabbos, so nothing is wrong. But if it was there from a Shabbos before, but the bezichen is the problem, then you can't. There's no correction. Dan Hassan, we learned in the Mishnah. Abalahem, that he said, the Memuna said to the Kahanim that were gathered there in the morning in the Beis HaMikdash, HaMemuna. The Memuna is the one that was in charge. Who was in charge? So one Pirush says, Ashi, the Sgan Kohen Gadol, the assistant to the Kohen Gadol, if the Kohen Gadol was for whatever reason became Tameh and he couldn't do the services as a Kohen Gadol, then the second Kohen Gadol, the assistant, comes in. He was the Memuna, and he said, Tzu. He tells those that were gathered in the Beis HaMikdash, he says, go up to the high place on the top of the wall, on the rooftop, and see if the Zman of Shechting the Korban Tamid in the morning has reached. If the Zman of Shechita reached, the one who saw it that it's time, he would scream, Barkai, the morning, the sun is shining.
Didn't they wait for the rooster?
They had to wait for the sun, the sun to come out. So Matizia ben Shmuel, who was in charge of all the Havidas there, so he says, he would say to him, when you're on the top of the roof, you can see Chevron. It's only 25 miles away, even though by car it takes 2 hours because we take all these routes to Chevron. But if you look from the top of the Beis HaMikdash straight, you see if the sun was shining in Chevron. Did it? He says yes. You have to answer. They had to double check this whole thing. He had to say it's morning, and the Mamuna had to double check.
You didn't have a centaur?
Like by the airplanes, when before they land, they make you repeat which lane you're going over. The driver of the plane.
How do you know?
That's what I heard. That you have to repeat over the words, whatever they say, to make sure it's. So the same thing is here. By the shechita, he has to repeat. First, he says it's morning. So the guy in the tower says, "Is it shining till Chevron?" So he has to say, "Yes, it is. It's shining till Chevron." Good. Says the mother, "What's the reason for it?" Hey, why do we need this double talk over here, back and forth? He says, one time the Levana was shining in the Irkia, and it looked like it was morning. It looked like the sun was shining. To them, they thought the Mizach, the sun is out. They shachted the Tamid. And then they understood it was still nighttime. It was really the moon. They had to take this Tamid. That was geschachten because it became possible. And therefore they were masakin, go to the top of the roof and say, "Hey, Ya Mizach," and he'll ask you, and you'll answer, "Hey," to double check with another guy that everything is right.
Oh, so over here, what happened? Beis Sefer?
Why they put it in Beis Sefer? Because the guy went on his own, and he thought, it's lichtig. It was this lichtig in the Levana. So he shachted it at night.
What happens if they build the Beis Hamikdash now? They have clocks. You don't need to.
I'm not talking. I don't know how it works. Today is maybe we'll go according to that. Somebody asked me about the shechita. Instead of sharpening the knives, we'll just use they made machines that can do exactly, and maybe even better than a hand. Maybe that's good too. Vayridu Kohen Gadol. And the Kohen Gadol, after this man Shchit Satam reached, he would go to Beis HaTfilah. Once the time, the morning came out, even though the Kohen Gadol was up a whole night, he would also have to go to mikveh. He goes to mikveh. Zaklal, how you about mikveh? Kol HaMisich Raglov Toin Tfilah. Whoever had to make number 2, you have to go right after he took it.
Raglov is
Mibeina Raglov is the Tzorach L'Gedolim.
Oh, yeah, Gedolim.
It's the Gedolim. He had to make the Gedolim. So, darf gehen mikveh, Toin Tfilah. Could you imagine, the eine was scheiß the dreimal atog, darf gehen mikveh 3 Tage and dreimal atog? B'chol amaton mayim, and number 1, and this is number 1.
Yeah, okay.
Toin Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim. There he has to, and the Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim wasn't simple. You remember we learned the feet, one foot has to be on the other foot. Sag am Tzavi, the Yadam was a guitar is never machen Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim. Anyway,
the whole Mikdash business was a difficult thing,
No, but there was a Bayim, there were a Bayim that did it, if not Murim, I think Kotsk, that every time he went to the bathroom, he wrote be tell himself after. Anyway, Tony Avud, the Rabbi Alvin, the father of Rabbi Alvin said, not only that this Kabim Behema that was slaughtered by night goes to the Beis HaSefer, he says, not only will a behema, because it says b'yom zev chacham, by behema it's state beferish, b'yom zev chacham. It doesn't say that by a mincha or by malika. We learn it out. Okay. So if we learn it out, maybe you don't burn it Beis HaSefer. He's come to tell you if it was gishacht and shalei bezmanai, you burn it Beis HaSefer. I understand a bird. There's no way of correcting it. You knock off the neck, you can't attach it back. It's dead, finished, it's over. So therefore, it has to go be burnt Beis HaSefer. Comes me your mama. Take the kmitza that you made, put it back into the shissel with the shirayim, and tomorrow you'll make another kmitza. What's the big deal? If you did the kmitza by Lila, why do you have to take the whole thing and burn it? The kmitza, you made a kmitza, you made a kmitza, just throw it back in, and then when it becomes day, you'll take it out. I make another kmitza.
It's really worth nothing.
Why should it be? Why do you have to burn it? Why do you say it has to go to the Beis HaSefer? It's like in Montreal, Goldstein was the arts and crafts guy. So they had beautiful trees around the lake. And he went and he cut a big, beautiful tree by the lake. Goldstein, he was arts and crafts. Machkin came running, he was screaming, Shugit, this is one of the beautiful trees that's covering the lake. It's no problem. You want your glue back together? Glue back together. Okay, yeah. You put back the head of the chicken. Anyway, he asked the question, and he answered it. By the Kmitza, the reason that there's no way out, you can't throw it back with the Shirayim, because it went into a Kli Sharis. It's Nigdash Givarin, so it became holy.
Even though that was possible.
It doesn't matter, it became Kaddish. So once it became Kaddish, you have to burn it.
But it wasn't in the right Zman, so how did it become Kaddish?
Through the Kli Sharis. Through the Kli Sharis.
That's what they have to burn.
But it wasn't Zman.
What do you mean? Right, so nevertheless. So, and therefore, you couldn't put it back in the Klayli. So if Mesa affecting Akasha from the following Brisa, Kol Akar by Yom, anything that's sacrificed by day, Kaddish by Yom, becomes sanctified by day. By Laila, anything that's sacrificed by night, Kaddish by Laila becomes sanctified by night. Bein by Yom, Bein by Laila, anything that's is sacrificed side by day and side by night, like Nisachin. We learned before the Nischa Yayin, you could bring it by day or by night. Kaddish Bein by Yom, Bein by Laila, so it can become Kaddish even by nighttime. Kol Akar by Yom, Kaddish by Yom. Anything that could be sacrificed, that's the rule. Anything that could be sacrificed by day is holy by, it only becomes holy by day. By Yom only in the day, Abalayla by night not. So, is it what? Loi. So you see, the Kli Sharis is not Mekadosh Shalei Bezmanoi. So how could you say that it became Kaddish and that's why you can't put it back? And for the Gemara, Eine Kaddish Likarev. It means there's two levels of Kedusha. It can become Kaddish, but not Kaddish enough to be able to be Makav on the Mizbeach. So that's what he says. Shalei Bezmanoi, the Kli Sharis makes it holy. But a lower level of holiness that it's not able to it's not that holy to be up to put on the Mizbeach. Al Kaddish L'Apostle. But it becomes Kaddish, Linya Psul, that if it stays overnight, there's the Psulina.
That's why the Mincha
So that's why the Mincha, you have to burn it because of Psulina. See this
it wasn't Lina, you have to, because he put it in the wrong time and it became Kaddish the minute that he put it in.
By night, yes. So he's saying once it's nighttime, it has Kedusha. But not Kedusha L'Karev. As soon as it went into the Kli Sharis, it made a Kaddish. Okay, if he placed the bread and the frankincense, but when did he put it? On a Sunday, after the Shabbos. And then he went Shabbos, and he burned the Bezichin on the first Shabbos. Right? It's possible. Kate said, Yasa, what should he do? What's the tikkun? If you want to save the lechem and the frankincense, if he put it on the table on Sunday instead of Shabbos, he says, leave it there for one Shabbos, another Shabbos, 14 days. Even if it's on, right? I mean, he's quoting. Yeah. Even if it's on the
It's the personal lechem mishnah.
No, lechem mishnah
for 2 weeks.
Lechem haponim. He's referring from the. Yeah, that's
there was one every week.
Right, so it's from Shabbos to Shabbos.
If you put it Sunday, you can leave it for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, correct. So from Shabbos to Shabbos.
Miracle still went.
Yes. So he says, it's not. He says it's not a problem if it was there for extra days. If you're gonna think that the Kli Sharis makes it holy. So the first,
how could it say?
Huh?
How could it be for 2
so
weeks?
it should the lechem.
Even though we put it on Sunday, the table.
It should lechem should be possibly by this right when it goes over Shabbos. Shabbos it makes it kaddish. So once it goes over to Sunday, it should be pasalina.
Doesn't become kaddish on Sunday because
no Sunday. No, if Shabbos makes it kaddish. He started off on a Sunday, right. So you have to wait till the Shabbos. Shabbos makes it Kaddish, but you have to wait till the following Shabbos. Okay. But if you're waiting till the following Shabbos, it's already Kaddish. It should be Pasalina. Sagt die Gemara, Amra mank the Kameisav Shapim Kameisav. The one that asked the Shaila asked very well. Avud Rabbi Alvin Nami Masnisa Kama, and he says, listen, the Kasha is also on the Braisa. Right. The Braisa says, we learned in the Braisa, a mincha that was Nik Mitzah Balayla, there's no Takana because it became Kaddish through the Kli Sharis, and it has to go to the Beis HaSefer, so it's a kasha on the Braisa. So he says, Kasava Laila Ein Chusazman. He says, look, you're asking when the night, Friday night, he's saying like this, it becomes Kaddish the second Shabbos, right? Not the first Shabbos.
What happens with the first Shabbos?
The first Shabbos, we say there's no psulina. Evi lachma panim. You put it on the table, there's no psulina till the next Shabbos. The second Shabbos, that's when it becomes Psulina. His question is that once you hit one Shabbos, right? You put it on before Shabbos, hit one Shabbos, you already have the Kedusha of not yet, by Friday night. The second Friday night that comes in, it's already Kaddish. And by Shabbos, when you want to take the Challah, there's a Psul of Lina. Because there was a full 8 days. You need 8 days. So normally it wouldn't be 8 days if you started with Shabbos. The 8th day would be Shabbos. But here, if you started Sunday, so it's like you started Friday. Friday night is already Shabbos, and which is normally not done Friday night. You usually put it on the Lach Mapanu, you put it on Shabbos. But here it's as if he put it on Friday night because Friday night is part of Shabbos. So if it's Friday night to Friday night, you have already the 8 days. It's already Kaddish. So how could you take off the Challah the next day Shabbos? It should be possible mitzad Lina. So he says, Laila ein mechusas zman. Kasava Laila ein mechusas zman. The night before, he says, is not considered as mechusas zman because the Laila is the beginning of the day. Hayabim mechusam zmanim. Oh, that's part of the kasha. 1 second. Well, let me go. Kasava, he holds Laila ein mechusas zman, meaning the night before the Hakrava is part of it, right? It's not considered missing in the time. It's part of the daytime.
What you're talking about, the second
Friday night, right? Yeah. So the mincha that was nikmitza b'layla, we said what became kaddish by night. Here also the second Friday night it became kaddish. So when you take the challah the next day, it should be considered as
usually you take it off on a Shabbos on the day itself.
Huh?
Every Shabbos you take off the old and you put on the new.
No, right, correct.
It's not done on Shabbos itself. Here you're going to say that on Friday night you passed already 13 days.
Correct. So he's saying that Laila is shaykh to the day after. If it's not for Achila, it really goes to the day before. For Achila, it goes for the day after. For Kaddish, it goes for the day. No, for Kedusha, it goes for the day after. The night goes by Kachim. By Achila, the night goes to the previous day.
Okay.
By Kedusha, it goes to the next day. Here, this night, Friday night, is part of Shabbos.
Yeah.
So it's Lina, because you had the 8 days, the Friday night before, and this Friday night, right? It's Shabbos. It's both considered Shabbos. So the second Friday night, when it goes through to Shabbos day, it should be a psulina.
So what does he answer?
Oh, so he says. So you see that the mincha that was nikdish nikmitza b'layla already became kosbikli. There.
But the table, the shulchan is mekadeshim, right?
Let's take one apart. When you're talking about by the mincha, the night is connected to the next day, so it's not mechusas zman. Right? It's not mechusas zman, so it's not a psul of lina. That's what he was saying. Right, it's not mechusas zman.
What's his kasha then?
So that's why it could become possible. Kvayigiyas man, he says, the Lailas Chilas Hayim. So the mincha that was niskadish bekli, the night, is part of the next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the problem? So what's this shayla that it's lina?
No, so he says not a problem. There's a difference. By us, it's mechusei zman. He wanted to answer like when he asked this question. He asked, "Look by the shulchan. You say you go till the 8th day, right?" So here was mechusei. So here's
shulchan 13 days already.
Right. But by the mincha that was sacrificed in the wrong time by night, right? He says the night follows the next day. The night is part of the following days. Shalaylo tchilas shalayim.
Okay.
No, the night is part of the next day. I'm sorry. The night is part of the next day, so that's why it's going to become puzzle.
So Alex is like
Hayabim mechusarim zman.
It's like Lina already.
Huh?
It's like Lina because it's next day.
It's the next day. Yeah, he wants to say that it's possible mitzad lina. Laila, not here, not by the mincha. By the mincha that was done by night, that's not lina. He says the night that's before the day, it's not considered as mechus zman. It's like he reached the right zman.
Right.
The only psul was that it was done by night. Mashein kin ha yomim mechusarim zman. But here with the Mishnah, where it's talking about that he brought the bezichin not on Shabbos, he brought it on a
A
Sunday.
day later.
That's already mechusei zman, because Shabbos is the zman that started, and he shortened the zman he started from Sunday.
But the challahs,
So that's one.
The challahs were on already, right?
The chalis, no, we're talking about the chalis and the bezichin you did Sunday. The takana, the Mishnah said only by that case. There's a takana, you wait till the following Shabbos. So he says there it's mitzat mechusei zman. By the mincha, it's not mechusei zman. The mincha is only because it was Laila. It was night. The night is part of the next day, really. So what he
What are you
did
talking about on the 13th?
when
13 days
no,
later?
we're not talking about the lachma panim. We're talking about the braisa when he brought a mincha by night. When he brought a mincha by night, what do we say? It becomes possible through the kli shares, right? So we said, oh, there you see, it's possible it's lina. So we're saying it wasn't lina, it wasn't mechusei zman.
Yeah, because you're waiting until the
Because
following shit.
the night is part of the next day. The only psul was nighttime, that he did it by nighttime, but it's really part of the next day. Says the Gemara, Hayomim mechusarim zman. But the lechem that was put on the shulchan b'yom rishon, the shulchan was not mekadosh it to make it puzzle, because it's mechus zman. So the zman didn't reach, and the kli sharis is not mekadosh it only in its right time. Only in its right time, which is Shabbos. Shabbos to Shabbos, that's it. You put it on Sunday. Sunday doesn't make it kodesh, because it's mechus zman. But if it's only mitzad, if it's not mechus zman, like by the mincha that he brought at night, and we said you have to burn it in the kachik in the house of Seifa, is talking about the psul was that he did it by night. But if it would have been mechus zman, it wouldn't become sanctified either. Has Nachum is richtig? By the mincha was a making by nacht. Haben sie gesagt that you have to burn it with Beis HaSefer. Why? Because the mincha,
The
kli was mekadeshit because there was only one psul. What was the psul? That it was done by night. It wasn't mechusei zman because the night is part of the next day. Masha'in came by us. Why is by the lechma panim? Why didn't the kli make it holy? Because it was missing mechusei zman. Mechusei zman didn't allow the kli to be the shulchan to be mekadeshit. In fact, you want to say safe kimat alayla the Beis Shimshi. When Leil Shabbos, now the Friday night, you're saying the Friday night is part of the next day, right? You have 2 Friday nights. They made up the 8 days. Normally, you wouldn't put it on a Friday night. When would you put it on a Shabbos? It would go Shabbos to Shabbos. Now he's asking, if you put it on a Friday night, and from Friday night to Friday night is already the 8 days, should have been Mekadosh. So Shabbos, you shouldn't be able to touch the challah because it was Lina. The shulchan was Mekadosh.
When Friday
The
night?
second Friday night.
The second Friday night?
Yeah, because I had the full 8 days.
Full week.
And it's Shabbos, the full week,
Well,
and it's
you talked
Shabbos.
about it's 13
It's
days
Shabbos.
passed already, right?
Yeah. But once it hits Friday night, it's part of the next Shabbos. So the second Friday night is already made it holy. So by the next Shabbos, you
Because you
should
had the 8 days already.
you had the 8 days already. So it should make it Kodesh. So you shouldn't be able to eat at Shabbos because of Lina. Says, you may leave this with so let it become sanctified and then become possible because of Lina, because of the Shabbos day. It's talking about that Friday out of Shabbos. He took it off. He took off the lechma upon him from the table. And then when it came Shabbos, he put it back on.
On Shabbos.
On Shabbos itself, which you allowed. So he avoided the Lina. He took it off before the Friday night could sanctify it.
So it didn't become Kodesh yet.
It didn't become Kaddish yet. He took it off for a little time, for the night, and by day he put it back on. You could say even if he didn't take it off. How? Since when he put it on the Mizbeach, on the shulchan. He didn't do it like the Torah tells us. When does the Torah say to put it on the shulchan on Shabbos? He put it on Sunday before. So since he didn't do it, it's like a monkey put it on. So it's not. So it was not. It doesn't become kaddish.
In other words, it's meaningless then.
It's meaningless. It's not. The kedusha happens on its own when Shabbos comes. Shabbos by day when you have to take the challah. When he has to take the challah off.
Since he took it off on Friday and we waited till Shabbos morning, and that's when he did.
That was the first answer. The second answer is even if he didn't take it off, since he didn't put it on in the right time. It's as if he never put it on to make it holy.
So even though it reaches Friday night,
it's nothing. He didn't make it holy. He has to do a ma'isa.
he has to wait till it comes Shabbos.
Shabbos. And Shabbos he does a ma'isa. Shabbos he.
I always say the Laila's Tchilas Hayayim.
What?
I always said before.
Yeah, but the light on its own will not make a kaddish. You had to have somebody put it there to make a kaddish. So there was no ma'isa mitzidoi.
That's why he has to put it on.
So the Shabbos when he takes off the challah, he moves the challah around. He does a ma'isa. It becomes kaddish. Sagt the Mishnah, Shtei Alachem nach Cholis ein Pas Mishnah v'lo Yisrael Shleisha. Shtei Alachem is eaten not less than 2 days and not more than 3 days. Why? Ketzad. Nefesh Merav Yom Tov. Take Shavuos. That's when the Shtei Alachem is eaten. So when you bake it on Erev, because you're not allowed to bake on Shavuos itself. The Eichel Nefesh is excluding kachin. So Nacholis b'Yom Tov l'shnayim. How many days of Shavuos do we have? 2. So you're eating it on or 1 day even. You're eating it from the second day from when you baked it. So it's 2 days. What's if Yom Tov Shavuos falls out after the Shabbos? Necholis l'shteisha, because from Erev Shabbos, you have Erev Shabbos to eat it, Shabbos, and Sunday Yom Tov, so it's 3 days. That's not saying it's
a problem. It's fine.
It's fine. He's telling that's how it is. The lechma ponim is eaten, but not less than 9 and not more than 11. Ketzad. Not from Erev Shabbos. If it was baked from Erev Shabbos. So here we go. The following Shabbos is Letisha. You have 9 days from when you put it on, from when you baked it.
In other words, from Friday.
From Friday till the next Shabbos. Chol Yom Tov Li is Erev Shabbos. If Yom Tov fell out on Erev Shabbos, so Nechol Asara, then you started from Thursday. Shnei Yom Tovim Shor Rosh Hashanah. You have the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. Nechol La'achad Osa. You eat it by the 11th day from Rosh Hashanah.
What does he say? You're allowed to eat it?
Yeah. 11 days after.
When you say it's leaner, you don't say it's...
Huh?
You don't say
No. You have till the 11th. He says you can eat it. The lechem is baked on B'Yom HaRevi'i, on the 4th day. Here we go. Shnei Yom Shel Tovim Shel Rosh Hashanah. So let's say Thursday and Friday. Thursday was Rosh Hashanah. Wednesday was baked. So you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then Shabbos to Shabbos, so it's 11 days. Are you going to ask me, it's Yom Kippur, you cannot eat on Yom Kippur, the 11th day? So it's really 12 days? So he says you eat it Matzah Yom Kippur. The night follows the day before by Kachin.
Well, here he said, by music goes...
that's by eating, the night follows the day before. By Kodesh, it follows the day after. And it doesn't override the Shabbos or the Yom Tov. Rabbi Shimon ben Azgan, he argues, he says, Doiches Yom Tov, that the Lachma Panim is considered as Eichel Nefesh, and you... Huh? Both. The Shtei Alechem is Mutter, and so too the Lachma Panim to bake it on Yom Tov. How do you know that? Because Achash Eichel Echol Nefesh Shu Lebadei, Yas Lechem, that's, the Eichel Nefesh is telling us that it's Mutter, for Eichel Nefesh you're allowed to bake on Yom Tov. But it cannot override Yom Kippur. That means Yom Kippurim. If Yom Kippurim fall out on a Friday, then you cannot bake the Lachma Panim. And it's baked Thursday. You have to start from Thursday. Amar Avina. Avina said, according to the man Amar that says Nedarim and Nedavis, you're not allowed to be makif on Yom Tov, a Kav Nedava, which is not a chayiv. Lo yitem b'daraisa mirza chazu v'rabban hu degazu shelo yasha. Don't say it's only midrabanan that they said it. You're not allowed to bake nedarim nedavis because eichel nefesh you should be allowed on Yom Tov. He says no. It's you would think it's exeter derabanan because let's say you gave a neder to bring a carbon, and you're gonna say no, I want to save it for a later date. We're afraid that he's going to be over b'bal ta'acher. He says that's not the true reason. The reason why you're not allowed because medaraisa you're not allowed to bake on Yom Tov nedarim nedav.
He's going to eat it on Yom Tov.
Huh?
But he's going to eat it on Yom Tov.
Yeah, but he has to bake before Yom Tov. Don't say that that the reason why he can't bake it on Yom Tov because we're afraid he's going to delay on a neder or nedava for a later time, and he'll be over on the neder and nedavis. So therefore, right for a later Yom Tov, for the last Yom Tov, 3 Yom Tov from now.
The last days of Pesach.
Right, whatever.
Something like that.
Element deraisa nam leichasa. Only it's midaraisa. It's also not permitted. We know the shtei alechem is the chayv of shvuos to eat shtei alechem. And there you can't say, oh, maybe he's going to save it for a later time. He's baking the shtei alechem for that day. It's only for that day. So let him bake it on Yom Tov. And we say, no, he's not allowed to do it. So obviously it's midaraisa. So here you see it's midaraisa that you're not allowed to bake on Yom Tov the shtei alechem. We shall return to you, Perik Shtei Alachem. Zog the Mishnah, Menochos, Nesachos. Let me just tell you, in Agdama, there's Kedushas Damim and Kedushas Aguf. When somebody's Magdish Bepeh, that's Kedushas Damim. You can redeem it. You can be paid it. When somebody's Magdish it with Klishares, that's already, so you want Kedushas Aguf. So then you cannot redeem it. Menochos v'Nesachos. Shenit Mu'at Shaloi Kach B'Kli. That became Tameh before it became Kodesh B'Kli Shares. Yesh Lam Pidyon. He never put it in a Kli Shares. Mishakichu B'Kli. But once it was Niskadish in a Kli, Ein Lam Pidyon. Because that's called Kedush Zaguf. And Kedush Zaguf you cannot be paid except by a behema. Ha'oifes va'eitzim. The oifes that were designated for a carbon or wood that was designated for the maracha of the Mizbeach. V'alavayna. Which the spicy designated for the Mizbeach, who Kli Shares. Even though Shenitma became Tameh, Ein Lam Pidyon. There's no redeeming. Lefi Shaloi Nema Pidyon Elo Behema. By Behema state that even though it became Tumas Haguf means it has a mum, there you could redeem it. But by Eilis, Eif, or by all the other Kli Shares, even though the kacha it has kedushas guf, there's no redeeming. The only kedushas guf, you have to break it. You can't use it. The only thing that you can redeem,
you have to burn it.
You have to burn it probably. The Beis HaSefer it doesn't say. You probably have to burn it. You're right. So even if they are tahir, you could redeem it. It doesn't have to be tameh to redeem it. It could be tahir, and you want to redeem it, you can redeem it. If it wasn't the Skadish B'Kli, you said if it became tameh. Even if it didn't become tameh, you can redeem it. It's Kedushas Damim. My time, what's the reason? Kimadalei Kach B'Kli. As long as it didn't become Kedushas Agov through becoming Kaddish through a Kli Shares, Kedushas Damim Nino has a din of Kedushas Damim. Or Kedushas Damim Nivdin. Anything that's only Kedushas Damim could be redeemed. In fact, what about Nitmo Tnam? We learned that Dafke became Tameh. Says Gemara, who are din afagav the loy Nitmo? Really, the same din is applicable even if it didn't become Tameh. I did the kabab misnei b'seifa. Since you want to tell me the chiddush in the seifa, mishakichu the Menochos and the Nesachos B'Kli Shares ein lahem pidyon. You want to say that there's no redeeming. So he's coming. The chiddush is nafilo Nitmo. I became Tameh. So what are you going to do? You're going to throw it away? Says, yeah, nami loy. You still cannot redeem it even if that's the chiddush. So since you want to tell me in the sefer the chiddush that even though that it became tameh, you don't redeem it. Tameh nami reisha shenitma. That's why you learned the reisha that it became tameh. Actually, like it's be clear. But really, even if it's not tameh, you can redeem it.